Good evening, everyone. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner, and tonight we're going to be discussing, do you even know what a domain name service is? If you don't, you probably will want to watch this video. But first, I wanted to let you guys know I'm not like other YouTube channels that go, oh, please, 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 hit the like button, and please, after you do that, hit the subscribe button, because it's going to share my videos with everyone. Why am I not like that? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I discovered that it's nice when you guys like my videos and subscribe to my channel. I'm thrilled that you do, and I am eternally grateful for you doing so. However, it's not going to get my videos shared anywhere. I don't know why they say that, but it isn't. There are two ways that my videos can get shared, other than the fact if you wanted to get the URL of this video and then share it with everybody on your particular social media, whether it be Twitter or Snapchat or Instagram or Facebook or whatever social media service you do this on. You can do that yourself. Or you could do one of two things. Watch this presentation all the way to the end so that the watch time is increased and therefore my videos get shared more, or you can leave me a very nice comment in the comment section below. That way YouTube will know that I indeed made a video that you really liked. Okay? And that will also get my videos shared a lot more. And that's because YouTube wants to see if my videos keep you guys on their platform. And if that's the case, they're going to share it. That's why they have it that way. Okay, so, yes, go ahead and like my video. You can subscribe to my channel if you like. That's great, and I hope you do. But also make sure to increase the watch time of this video, and also make sure that you leave me nice comments on this video. It'll help. It really will. Now then, on the other hand, I also have published 5 Kindle books, and you see one of them on the screen right now, okay? And they're $5 a piece. If you want to buy them, feel free. Leave me a comment in the comment section below, and I'll send you a link to at least one of them, and you can find the other 4 that way. Alright, without further ado, what is a domain name service? Well, who invented it would be the first question you'd want to know. If you want the answer to these questions, you have to enter I have a nice little time machine, and we're going to enter it, and we're going to travel back to 1983. Now, if you know anything about 1983, that is when Journey published their Frontiers album, if I recall correctly. I think that's the right one. They did publish an album, but I think it's Frontiers. And that's when Sally Ride took her big trip into space, and that's also when Karen Carpenter died. So, a lot of stuff that went on that year. Alright. Let's catch an airplane and let's fly to California. We're going to find something called the ARPANET. Now, who is operating the ARPANET at this time? It was none other than Elizabeth Feinler. Okay? And I will have her name in the description box of this video so you can go look that up for yourself. If you wanted an internet address at that time, you had to contact her and ask her for an address, a computer address, so that you could actually have your stuff uploaded onto the computer and it would have an address that people could go to. But she, and I'm sure there was more than just her doing this, her and her team were not working 24 hours a day, okay? And I guarantee you, no member of her team, nor herself, none of these people were working on holidays. If you wanted to set up a web page or whatever it was you wanted to set up, and it was holiday, you were just plumb out of luck, okay? But no one should lose hope. There was someone else working on the ARPANET project, and his name was Paul Mocapetris. Paul Mocapetris. So how did he fix this problem? Well, I have included in the description box of this video a hyperlink to a web article that will start explaining all this stuff to you. At the time, Mr. Mocapetris was working at the University of Southern California. He met a gentleman by the name of Jon Postel. Okay? This gentleman had been credited as the first person to have sent an internet message. At that time, all internet addresses were stored inside a simple database table. This database table was stored on a single computer. So if you wanted to send a message, you would basically have to send your message to this computer so it could help you find the computer you were looking for. Now, does that sound anything familiar to you? Well, it should. Okay? We're going to compare how this thing worked with how a switchboard operator did their jobs back in the day. Okay, you remember the switchboard operators for the Bell Telephone Company? Remember American Telephone and Telegraph? If you don't, you need to look that up. Okay? Now, let's just imagine for a second that we're at Bell Labs and there's only one switchboard operator. Wow, that'd be bad. Can you imagine trying to make a phone call with only one switchboard operator working on duty? Woohoo! Okay, what was contained in this database? Well, at the time, all computer routers and all computers were identified as numbers. Okay? Does the number 127.0.0.1 look and sound familiar to you? Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and write this one down because you might want to know this. That's kind of a local host number. Okay? So if you're a computer guru, that number should look very familiar to you. Alright. Now what you don't know is that all your web pages that you see on the internet, because they're called computer resources, really, they have numbers very similar to this. They're not exactly the same, but they're in a similar type format. So if you wanted to find an internet resource, you had to know the numerical identifier of that resource, as well as the identifier of the router it came from and the computer it came from. Boy, that's a trip. So before the year 1983, you had to tell Elizabeth Feinler or her team what your computer number was, what your router number was, and what the number of your web resource was. And she had to assign them to you, and then she had to store that in her database. Okay? But then finally, the domain name service was created. Okay? Now, at that moment, a series of computer servers were added to the internet. And they all had databases. Okay? And now, these databases were created electronically. They weren't created by just a human being. They were now created electronically. Alright? Now, the best way to think about these particular servers is to think about old phone books. Okay? Now, how many of you people remember, now I've been around for a while, and I do remember old phone books. Okay? I'm that old. Okay? So, I used to open phone books, and then I would look up the name of a person that I wanted to call. Right next to it was a telephone number. That telephone number belonged to that person. Alright? Same type of situation was going on with these extra servers that were added to the computer. Now that's one thing. A lot of you people have been told, oh my gosh, all of our stuff is in the cloud. Do you know when you send something up into the cloud where it's really going? It's going to somebody else's computer. If that computer ever fails, your data's gone. Isn't that nice? Alright. So, if you want to do more research on the topic of domain name service, how these domain names are created and all this other stuff, and how they get turned into numbers, that kind of thing, feel free to do so. If you have any web articles that explain all that and thorough details, send them to me, and I'll try to explain it to you guys in my audience, and then you can better see how a domain name service actually works. Alright, well, I want to thank you very much for watching this particular presentation. I will tell you more in a future video, so I'd like for you to stay tuned.